Hey everybody, welcome to Go Bold. My name is Jody Atariwala and we are very privileged today to be aboard one of the two ships of the Japanese Training Squadron, which has just arrived in Victoria, British Columbia. And they're on their 2023 training cruise, which will take them to 8 different countries and ports of call. Joining me today is Assistant Naval Navigation Officer Minori Suzuki, and we are aboard the Japanese ship Kashima. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Minori Suzuki. I am the Assistant Navigational Officer here on Kashima. We are from the Training Squadron of JMSDF, and this year the Training Squadron consists of this ship, Kashima, and the one next to us, Hatakaze.
They are beautiful ships. They're much larger than some of the ships that other navies will train with, but and they're absolutely spotless.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they're absolutely beautiful. You guys have just come to Canada
this morning. Exactly,
and
yes.
your previous visit was Alaska?
Dutch Harbor in Alaska.
Dutch
yes.
Harbor, right. And we hope that visit went well.
It was wonderful, yes. We
Awesome.
love the weather.
Awesome. Well, you're very kind to take a few minutes to have us do a walkthrough
Yes, of course.
JS Kashima.
Yes.
How about we just start from the front here and proceed on?
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
So here on this deck, we have 2 anchorages, as you can see, and our main gun right in the front. As I told you, we are from the Training Squadron, so this ship is actually a training vessel, which means we are not equipped with many weapons. Instead, we have lots of simulation systems and tools to educate our training officers. As you can see, our ship is quite big. It holds about 300 crew members and about 160 training officers.
Do you guys use much? Obviously, you go through your shore training, and then you use simulators and what have you.
Yes.
So once you get to a certain level of proficiency, is when you will come on this ship.
Exactly, yes. The training officers, they finish their academic state in their Officer Candidate School, which takes about 1 year. And
Okay.
after that, they graduate and they come on the ship for about 6 months.
Beautiful, and this is part of that 6-month rotation.
Exactly. We have just started in May.
Right. And so it's really kind of like now proving everything that you guys have trained up to. Now you're actually going around the world
Yes.
and demonstrating. Now, are all of these weapon systems, are they all functional?
Yes, of course, yes.
Fantastic. So
We actually have 2 small guns on the upper level here.
Okay.
We used those just this morning for the gun salute before we entered the harbor.
Right. Yeah, we heard that. That was beautiful. Awesome. So this is a main gun forward, and
Yes.
yeah, let's continue on aft
Okay.
and we'll follow your lead.
Thank you. Because our ship, we go around the world every year and we have many guests coming on board. We often take 2 ladders, one in the front and one in the back. And the one in the back, it's for all crew members, from officers to petty officers and seamen. But the front ladder, it is only for our COs and our commander, and of course guests like you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful. Now, how much, as a training vessel, I guess you guys are, and it's Japanese culture, obviously, to keep things very clean, very tidy.
Yes.
But these ships are spotless. Like, you barely see any speck of rust
Thank you so much.
anywhere.
Yeah, we do our best to maintain it very clean. We do deck cleaning every day. So we try our best to keep it clean because we know we have many guests coming on board when we get into a harbor.
Right. Well, it shows, and it's extremely impressive.
I guess we should go this way so you can take a look at Hatakaze as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Hatakaze is actually a training vessel right now, but it used to be a frigate. It used to be a destroyer in the JMSDF.
Right.
But because it became a little old, it was moved to the training squadron, and now it is cruising around the world as a training vessel. So you can see they have a little more weapons on their ship compared to us.
Right. Yeah. This was a one-armed bandit missile launcher.
Yes.
Is what they used to call them. And then
That is our main gun.
Main
their
gun.
gun. Yes.
And then missile launchers aft of that.
Yes.
This is actually a great way to kind of get a good view of both ships.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, let's, I guess, proceed
Okay.
on backwards.
This way might be better because
Sure.
we have more things to show.
Sure,
Sorry.
absolutely. And just because the Air Force is doing a flyby too. That's to welcome you guys.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, our ship doesn't embark hellos, but we can still launch them.
You can
Yes.
right. You can still operate
Yes.
helicopter because there's flight deck on both
Yes,
ships.
exactly. Yes.
Right. And the last time you were in Canada was
Yes.
about 7 years ago.
Yes, that's what I heard.
Yeah. It's fantastic that the ships go all around the world in your training capacity.
So these guys are getting ready for the Pacific Fleet Commander,
Right.
who is coming to our reception tonight. I told you we have about 160 training officers in total. We actually have exchange students as well.
Oh,
We have
really?
one from Thailand this year.
That's great.
When I was a training officer, I had an exchange student from Thailand, Vietnam, and other countries from Asia as well.
Wow. That's,
So this is the front ladder I was talking to you about,
Right.
used only for COs and commanders. We were going to take it this morning, but there were a few issues, and instead we took the stage.
sure.
This ship above, the blue one, this is only for the admiral, so
Right.
our commander of the training squadron.
The Admiral's yacht.
Yes.
Right.
And the one behind it, the small boat behind the blue one, that's what we use for boat operations often.
Right. So this is the Admiral's launch right above us, and then the next one is
For all crew
for the
members.
crew, right. And as we're seeing here, torpedo launchers.
Yes. It's a very old type,
Right.
as you can see.
Yes, yes,
but it
indeed.
still works.
Right, yeah.
It functions, thankfully.
Yeah, well, it's spotless.
We try to launch a torpedo every year to show our trainee officers how it's like to launch a torpedo.
Right. That's awesome. And so, in terms of what is the berthing like on the ship? Like, what are the quarters like? Because this ship was built in the 90s, early 90s.
Yes.
So, in terms of amenities and what's it like to actually sail on it, and like just living on board?
As I told you, it was specially made for the training crews as a training vessel. So we have many rooms for the training officers, and a lot of the rooms are specially made for long cruises. So it's very comfortable. We don't have any problems living on it. The only thing is it's becoming a little old. So some of the systems, some of the tools are getting a little old. So we do have to do some maintenance once very often.
Sure. And do you guys have connectivity on board this ship?
Yes,
like-
we do.
So the crew can connect with family and things
Yes,
like that?
exactly. Yes.
Excellent.
We have special Wi-Fi on our ship
Right.
to make contact with our family members back in Japan.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, should we just go a little bit further back
Sure.
as far as we can?
Yes, yes. I'll take you to the reception hall after this.
Wonderful. What are you looking forward to here in Victoria the most?
Victoria?
I guess before we.
You want to take a look?
Yeah,
Yes,
I would love to. So
yes.
a classroom.
Yes, exactly. A classroom for the trainee officers, because we have about 200 of them each year.
Right.
Just this ship has a classroom just for them. We often use this to give them lectures and also conferences, meetings.
Right.
We have many people coming on board to give them lectures and speeches every time, so this room is used for that often.
Beautiful.
And when we don't have good weather for the reception, we sometimes use this room instead.
Right. Right.
But today we have good weather, so
Yes.
we're having it outside.
Yeah, excellent. Well, it makes a lot of sense, and obviously there's some
Yes,
art.
this picture was
art-
actually drawn this year, 2023, May.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, and you can see some of the other artwork on board
Yes.
the ship.
I remember I used to study here 2 years ago
Really?
as a training officer.
It must be nice to, it must be rewarding once you finish.
It is.
And then-
It was. I was really happy to know I was going to be able to come on the ship as an officer.
Right. And it must be rewarding, absolutely, to go from student to officer.
Yes.
And
And
so
come back to the same ship.
Right, right. And what interested you in the navigation trade?
Well, I told you I'm a navigational officer,
Yes.
but we don't really have the choice at this moment. In the JMSDF, the surface warfare officers, in the first 3 years, they have to go around three different groups. So they have to, 1 year they have to work as a navigation officer, 1 year they have to work as an engine officer, and the last year they have to work as a weapons officer. So they know the different jobs on the ship.
Right.
And this is my second year as a navigation officer.
Okay, so have you done the other two yet?
I was the assistant anti-submarine officer last year.
Great.
So I have the engine officer left for me next year.
Right, and then once you complete all of
Yes.
that, what is your hope for your career? Like, where would you like to go in the JMSDF?
Surface warfare officer was my first choice. I'm very happy to come on the vessel. In my future, I'm looking forward to go into the anti-surface operations. That was my first place in my first year. I really loved it. I studied very hard to learn the operations. So I'm looking towards becoming an anti-surface, anti-submarine officer. Yes.
That'll be awesome. And the Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force has amazing ships, very capable. So, how many primary naval bases are there in Japan? There's Yokosuka.
There are 5 in total.
There's 5.
Yokosuka, Sasebo, Kure, Maizuru, and Ominato.
Okay.
Those 5 are the primary harbors in
Right.
Japan.
And I don't know if you even have the ability to say, hey, I prefer this base or not, but
To be honest, Yokosuka is my most favorite harbor. My mother actually lives in Yokosuka.
oh, nice.
I want to work somewhere close to her. So
Absolutely. Well, our fingers are crossed for you that you get that
Thank
one.
you.
Absolutely.
You want to take a look at the reception hall?
Yeah, that'd be great. Hello. So here is fairly rare opportunity for people to see. A beautifully planned reception on board.
So we have this reception every time we come in to port.
Into a new port,
yes,
right?
Yes. And all the dishes, all the food, are prepared by our crew members.
Oh wow, awesome.
They all cook it themselves.
It's good experience and training for everybody.
It is,
right?
yes. And those two big buckets, they have the Japanese sake alcohol.
Very
in it.
cool.
So these are the dishes I was talking about. They are all made by our crew members.
Lovely, lovely.
And
And so-
those are all the training officers, as you can see.
Right, right. And this otherwise would
Yes.
be a flight deck.
Exactly, yes.
Right.
You can tell.
Right.
Great,
And we'll just go and take a
Yeah,
look at the
sure.
map of where you guys are actually
yes,
sailing to. I think
absolutely.
that'd be a nice touch.
Hello.
Hi guys. Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Victoria.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this was your last stop, Dutch Harbor.
Yes.
Last and actually first stop.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
We love the nature there. We saw many animals and we love the weather.
Wonderful.
And before we came into Victoria, we did a bilateral exercise with Winnipeg,
HMCS
Yes.
Winnipeg. Fantastic.
and that was a wonderful experience for us.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Well, here is the 2023 Japanese Training Squadron cruise. So you guys left Yokosuka?
Yes, on May 25th.
Right. And then you went to Dutch Harbor.
Yes.
Now you're in Victoria.
Yes.
And
now next we're going to Mexico.
San Diego, yeah. San Diego.
Mexico, actually.
Oh, Mexico
Yes.
first. Oh, wow, Mexico first. Oh, so you're hitting San Diego on the way back.
Yes, and we're going all around South America, counterclockwise, and we go to San Diego, Pearl Harbor, and we head back to Japan.
That is awesome. So you're going to get to go through the Panama Canal.
Exactly.
Lovely, lovely.
So excited for that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going to be a great experience for the training officers too.
I think this cruise just looks incredibly impressive because you're going to be visiting so many countries, but so many different areas of the world too.
We do this every year, but the course changes once a while. Last year they went to countries in Europe.
Okay.
We're not sure what the course is next year.
Right. Right.
But when I was a training officer 2 years ago, I also went on this cruise around the world. But because of the COVID, we weren't allowed to go. We weren't allowed to leave the ship. We weren't allowed to go anywhere.
Right. Right. Yeah, that would have made it much more. It made it tough for everybody.
It was,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
We weren't even able to exchange coins with crew members from other ships.
Right. Yeah, that makes it much more difficult to kind
It
of have
was.
this type of bilateral and kind of relationships with all the countries that you're visiting. But thank God we're past that.
Yes.
Should we just take a quick visit over to
Hatakaze?
Hatakaze?
Sure, yeah, I'll take you
and
there.
then we'll come on back.
So
welcome aboard JS Hatakaze, and that is Japanese ship, Hatakaze.
So
And-
here is Hatakaze. They actually have a gun on their back deck as well.
Right, and there's two close-in weapon systems.
Yes.
One port and one starboard.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so being a destroyer, this was much more heavily armored or
Exactly,
weaponized
yes.
than Kashima. Kashima was built as a
Training
dedicated training vessel.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why we aren't equipped with many weapons.
Right. Right. And again, just like Kashima,
Yes.
Hatakaze is spotless.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. And I guess I keep saying that because I've been on a lot of Navy ships, but very, very few look like this.
Navy ships from other countries?
From
Oh,
other
okay.
countries, yes. American, Canadian, British, French, Spanish. We've had the privilege to go on many Allied warships,
That's
and
nice.
all of them are impressive in their own right. But I've never seen any as clean as I have the Japanese ships. Did you spend time on this ship as well?
No, I haven't.
No. And so how does that work? So between Kashima and
Yes.
Hatakaze
Yes.
as the ships in the Japanese Training Squadron,
Yes.
how is it decided who goes where and why?
Who goes where, as in which ship goes on the?
Which ship a student would serve on?
We actually rotate them.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
160 of them, they are actually divided into 5 groups, and one group goes on Hatakaze every time, and we switch them once every often when we come in port.
Okay. Okay. So everybody gets an opportunity to have
Yes,
exposure
yes.
to both.
Because Kashima is a big ship,
Right.
and we have most of the training officers on our ship, so they have less opportunities to experience the exercises.
Right.
But on Hatakaze, there's only about 30 training officers, so all of them have to participate in the exercises.
Right, right. And here we are, up close and personal. The missile launcher here. And then the forward main gun.
Sorry, we didn't have enough time to prepare one in English.
Oh, that's okay. What is it basically saying, just in brief, if you were to translate that for us?
The first question says, this is called the ASROC launcher, and it's asking what exactly is an ASROC launcher and what is an ASROC missile. So this launcher is often used to launch torpedoes as
Right,
well.
right.
The torpedo launchers are on both sides. They also do the same thing, but in order to launch them further and faster, we have to use this ASROC launcher.
Right, right. Yeah. And so ASROC is anti-submarine rocket,
Yes.
right? And here's the main gun forward. Hello.
Hello.
And here is that one-armed Bandit missile launcher. And we're almost getting to the end of our tour. Minori, this has been beautiful. It's a wonderful opportunity to get a sense of the impressive ships of the Japanese Training Squadron, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to speak with us.
You're very welcome.
On Go Bold. It's been an absolute pleasure to be aboard And we wish you a wonderful visit here in Canada.
Thank you.
And I hope that you have a very, very successful cruise for the rest of your time at sea.
Thank you. I'm very happy to see you all today. We are cruising around the world every year. Whenever you want, we are always free. We always feel free to come on board.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I recommend that to everybody. The ships are beautiful, and it's a wonderful opportunity if you have the chance to go aboard. I think you'll be impressed as we are. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.